You're the first person in your family to ever make real money. Not thousands, not even six figures. I'm talking life-changing money. And suddenly, everyone looks at you differently. You're not just you anymore. You're the plan. You're the backup plan. You're the emergency fund for everyone. And no one warned you that making money would feel this heavy. 1. The dream. Everyone talks about. There's a version of success. Everyone carries in their mind. It's simple, clean, almost cinematic. You make money. You make it. You finally step into a life that once felt out of reach. No more checking your bank account before every decision. No more saying maybe next time. No more quiet stress sitting in the background of every day. And for a moment, it feels exactly how you imagined. Freedom, control, relief. You breathe differently. You think differently. You move through the world like something has finally clicked into place. All those years of effort, they start to feel worth it. But then, something shifts. Not suddenly, not loudly, quietly. The dream starts changing shape. Because success doesn't arrive alone, it brings questions you never had to answer before, decisions you were never prepared to make, expectations you didn't see coming, and when you're the first, there's no roadmap, no family history to lean on, no one who understands what this level feels like, no one to tell you what to do next, when everything looks fine on the outside. So you start figuring it out on your own. Trial, error, pressure, and slowly, you realize something no one talks about. Making money was the easy part. Understanding what to do with it, that's where the real story begins. 2. The pressure. No one admits. No one says it out loud, but you feel it. Every time your phone rings, there's a pause before you answer. Every time someone says, "Hey, I need a small favor," you already know it's not small. And slowly, money stops being just money. It becomes a conversation, a responsibility, an expectation. You start realizing something uncomfortable. You didn't just upgrade your life. You upgraded your role, because now you're not just thinking about your bills. You're thinking about theirs, not just your future, but everyone connected to you. And the hardest part? No one taught you how to say no. So you say yes. At first, it feels right. Helping feels good. It feels like success finally means something, but over time, those yes moments start stacking, quietly, consistently, until one day you notice something strange. You're earning more than ever, but your freedom feels smaller. Your decisions feel heavier. Your money feels already spent. And you can't even talk about it, because from the outside, you won. You're the success story, the example, the one everyone points to. So you smile, you nod, you handle it, even when it feels like no one actually understands what it's costing you. 3. The invisible trap. Here's the truth most people never see. Making money doesn't just change your lifestyle, it changes your identity. At first, it's subtle. You're still the same person, same habits, same mindset. But gradually, something shifts. You go from being a person to being a solution. The one people turn to. The one who can handle it. The one who figured it out. And slowly, without even realizing it, your money starts moving before you even decide where it should go. Not because you're careless, but because every situation feels justified. Helping family, fixing urgent problems, covering unexpected gaps. Each decision makes sense. In the moment, it feels like the right thing to do. Logical, responsible, necessary. So you don't question it. You just respond. Again, and again, and again. Until one day, you pause. Not because something went wrong, but because something feels off. You look at your income, higher than ever. You look at your effort, still increasing. But your progress, it doesn't match. And that's when the question hits you quietly, but powerfully. Why do I feel stuck, even though I'm earning more than ever? And in that moment, you start to realize this isn't about how much you make. It's about what your money has quietly been trained to do. 4. The emotional conflict. This is where it gets complicated because it's not just about money anymore. It's about emotion. It's about guilt, a kind of pressure that doesn't show up on a bank statement. If you don't help, you feel selfish, like you've forgotten where you came from, like success changed you in the worst way. But if you do help, you feel something else. Not regret, not exactly, but a quiet exhaustion, because deep down, you know this isn't sustainable. And that's the conflict no one prepares you for. You're caught between two identities, the person you used to be and the person everyone now expects you to be. And both feel real. So you try to balance it. You tell yourself, this is temporary. I'll figure it out later. Once I make a little more, it'll be easier. But it doesn't get easier because the pattern isn't financial, it's emotional. Every decision is driven by how it feels in the moment, not by what it builds long term. So you keep choosing relief over structure, connection, over boundaries, and slowly, without realizing it, you build something invisible, a system where your income isn't just supporting your life, it's supporting expectations. And the more reliable you become, the more that system depends on you. Not because people are trying to trap you, but because you never stopped it from forming. And now, it's bigger than just a few decisions. It's a cycle. 5. The truth about control. Here's the shift most people never make. They believe the solution is simple. Make more money, and everything will calm down. The pressure will ease. The stress will disappear. The situation will finally feel under control. But it doesn't. Because pressure isn't created by how much you earn. It's created by how your money moves. And if there's no structure, no clear direction, no intentional system behind it, your money doesn't stay still. It reacts. It flows toward urgency, toward emotion, toward whatever feels most important in the moment. And usually, that's the loudest need. Not the most strategic one, not the one building your future, just the one that demands attention right now. So even as your income grows, the pressure grows with it, because now you have more to give, more to solve, more to respond to. And without realizing it, you've created a system where your money isn't leading your life. It's chasing it. Always reacting, always adjusting, never actually building. That's why more income doesn't fix the problem. It amplifies it. Because without control, money doesn't create freedom. It creates movement. And if you don't decide the direction, something else will. And over time, that something becomes everything. 6. The moment. Everything changes. There's a moment. Most people move past it. Some never even notice it. But for a few, it hits differently. Not loud, not dramatic. Just a quiet pause in the middle of everything, where you stop, not because you're forced to, but because something inside you finally asks, what am I actually doing? And for the first time, you don't think about income. You don't think about status. You don't think about what people see. You ask a different question, a harder question, not how much am I making, but what is this building? Because suddenly, you start seeing your money differently, not as numbers, but as direction. Every dollar you spend is moving somewhere. Every decision you make is shaping something. A system, a pattern, a future, or a dependency that grows quietly in the background. And once you see it this way, everything changes. Small decisions don't feel small anymore. They feel like signals, like votes for the life you're creating. And that's the moment most people avoid, because it removes the illusion. You can't hide behind income anymore. You can't blame circumstances. You can't pretend it will fix itself later, because now you see it clearly. Your money isn't just being spent, it's being programmed. And once that realization locks in, you can't go back to how you used to think. You can only move forward with awareness. 7. The real power. Real financial power isn't about money. It never was. Money is just the tool. The real power is control. Control over where your money goes. Control over what it builds. Control over what your future looks like before it arrives. Because without control, even a high income feels unstable, unpredictable, temporary. But with control, even modest money starts creating something solid, something repeatable, something that grows without constant effort. And this is where everything becomes different for the first millionaire in a family. Because their job isn't normal. They're not just earning. They're defining. They're not just improving their life. They're setting the standard for what's possible for the first time, which means every decision carries more weight, not just financially, but structurally. They're building the first system, the first set of rules, the first example of how money should move and what it should actually do. And whether they realize it or not, that system becomes the reference point. For siblings, for parents, for the next generation. That's why this stage feels heavier than expected. Because you're not just managing money. You're creating a blueprint, one that either builds independence or quietly teaches dependence. And once you understand that, you stop thinking like someone who just made it. You start thinking like someone who's responsible for what comes next. 8. The final truth. Being the first millionaire in your family isn't just success, it's a shift, a weight you don't see coming until you're already carrying it. Because it's not just about money, it's responsibility, it's pressure, it's expectation, it's isolation, moments where you realize no one around you truly understands what you're navigating, not because they don't care, but because they've never been here. And that's what makes it different. You're walking into something without a map, without a model, without proof that it can even be done the right way. But here's the part most people miss. This position, as heavy as it feels, is also rare because it gives you something few people ever get: leverage. Not just financial leverage, but generational leverage. The chance to change direction. Not just for yourself, but for everyone who comes after you. To break patterns, to build systems, to create stability where there was none. And that's the real truth. Money doesn't just test what you can earn. It tests your discipline, your awareness, your ability to think beyond the moment. Because earning money is one skill, but holding it, growing it, directing it with intention, that's a completely different game. And most people don't realize that until years have passed, until patterns are already locked in, until the system they built is hard to escape. So if you're here right now understanding this, then you're earlier than most. And that changes everything. If this hit you, then you already know this isn't just about money. It's about what you're building. So before you go, hit like, subscribe, and comment first if you're the one changing everything in your family. Because this journey, not everyone understands it, but here, you're not doing it alone.